G'day gents, how are you all today? Fucking fantastic, I hear. Yeah, good on ya. Oh yeah, fucking grouse, Mr. Bear. So, thought today, have a little chat to you about a bit of equipment that I've had on my bike for about 6, 8, no, it's been about 8 months now actually. I got it pretty early on. I bought the bike in February and it's October now. Yeah, it's been about 8 months. 8 months. No, 6 months. So, the Annitori Quickshifter, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. So there are some positives, but there's also a few negatives. Now the negatives are not that substantial, but they can be pretty goddamn irritating at times. So, first of all gents, does it work? Well, let me show you in just a second, I suppose. Alright, no hand. Not a good idea not to have your hand on, as you can see. Jesus. But the cool thing is, it works up and down. Use your fucking indicator, you dumb cunt. Now, I've just got a habit of pulling the clutch when I'm slowing down and using it in that manner, but as you can see, works down as well. So the unit attached to my gear shifter, just down there, that's a molecular sensor, unlike a mechanical sensor, which a lot of other brands do use, so it's a lot more reliable. That's because there's no moving parts whatsoever. Instead of having a moving part that detects when the shifter is moving and then activates the quick shifter, it has a molecular one. And the way that works is, we're going to delve a little bit into the physics here, but when you push an object, you're not actually moving it straight away. You are compressing it on one side, and then that compression turns into almost like a shock wave, and that travels up the object until it returns to its normal size. And in returning to its normal size, the entire thing has moved. So an example of this, let's say you had a block of wood that was 1 light year long, and you were to push that block of wood on one side, it wouldn't move that entire length in that time. The compression wave would run up the entire length of the wood, and it would take a number of years actually for the entire thing to move on the other side. It's kind of mind-boggling, but that's how physics works. So the same thing is happening here. It is measuring the compression that it's detecting, and because it's such a tiny distance, it happens almost instantaneously, a measurement of time that we cannot even fathom. So in 1/16 of a second from the moment you start pushing up, it deactivates the engine, clicks into the next gear, and then reactivates. And it's so quick that all you hear is a little toop, and that's it. It's pretty damn cool when you think about it. It's a pretty unique idea, and now everyone makes them, of course. So it does work very well, but unfortunately there are a few downsides. So one thing I've noticed in particular, if I'm going across certain types of terrain, and I haven't entirely figured out what those types are, unfortunately, but I've noticed at Mount Cootha, if I go the long way around, there is something about that terrain that sets it off a bit. I'm not entirely sure what it is. It's not that bumpy. I really can't think of what it might be. But this happened with the unit I had beforehand that was sent back under warranty. And speaking of warranty, they don't ask any questions, they just send you a new one. So it keeps activating, and that really fucks with how the bike performs, unfortunately. I'll see if I can find some footage, and I'll throw that up now. Oh, what is my quick shifter doing? Whoops. My biggest complaint of all though, guys, is that sometimes, about once a month, it doesn't work at all. And that's because the connection needs to be undone, cleaned out a bit, and then put back together. Now, this is an issue I had with my last one and with my current one. It is rare, once a month maybe, but it will not start at all until you turn off the bike, fix up that connection, and then put it all back together. It happened just earlier while I was at the servo, but you'll know straight away. Normally it can take up to 3 or 4 minutes to actually start up, because it does detect when the bike is on, and so that it doesn't drain power when it's off. So there is that startup time, but after 4 minutes and it's still not working, that's a little ridiculous. And that does mean that the waterproof seal and the dustproof seal that they're using around the main connector that attaches the what are they called? The spark plugs. The spark plugs, yeah, to the control box it's not very high quality, unfortunately. Now, this all being said, I'm still pretty happy with it. It works 95%, 99% of the time. I mean, it's exceptionally rare that I do have issues. And normally, I'm pretty religious with it. I clean out that connection. Although, to be honest, sometimes I do forget. Now, this is a pretty cheap unit. It's made by Annitori, as I said earlier. They used to be produced by H&M, however, Annitori has now moved over doing it themselves. And it is the cheapest one you can get. The H&M model and the Annitori model, it's around between $475 and $495, depending on which one you get. They're both identical units, they've just got a different shell on the outside. Now, when you buy a budget Quickshifter like this, every now and then you will run into issues, but that doesn't really take away from the positives. I mean, I can't go back to clutch shifting now. It's something that I'm going to have on every single bike I own for the rest of my life. It's so much better. So hopefully that's been a bit informative. Despite its shortcomings, I would recommend it, especially if you're budget conscious. I mean, the issues that it does have are pretty minor and they can be sorted out pretty easily. Anyway guys, that's it. Mr. Bear signing off. Maybe I'm the cunt this time, hey? Not you guys. See you later, boys. Baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you?